Good morning, Megapodlegs. It's Crazy Joe. Welcome to Crazy After Dark, the last Crazy After Dark of February 2020. Excuse me. Let me get the chat up here. Hey, I just got the notification that I'm live. And there we go. Ethan Edwards is here. Hello, Ethan. Good to see you. Hang on a second. Excuse me. I am going to sneeze. As is As is becoming a Wednesday night tradition, I am fine all day and then get sneezy as soon as we start the live stream. Why is that? I don't know. I see several people in the chat room. Marty McFly, Joey Baseball, Snotter Otter, David Rembert. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. And yeah, it seems our Wednesday night tradition of me getting sneezy right when the live stream starts is going strong once again. I don't know what that is all about. So I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get sneezy and congested again. And I haven't been all day. Why is this? I don't know. Excuse me. I'm going to grab my box of tissues just to have it with me, just in case. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, hey, this is pretty cool. I think I'll show you guys this. I wasn't going to show you guys this, but I was cleaning out my mom's house the other day. Trying to get stuff out of there, and I found this Sesame Street Woolly Willy. You could put hair on Bert. It's been in my mom's house for quite some time, and I'm trying to clear out all my stuff from my mom's house and bring it either here or to my storage unit. So I brought Woolly Willy with me. I thought that was pretty exciting. Hey, I see a lot of people are joining us. Gary's here. James Borlett is here. And I just want to take a moment before I start reading what you guys have to say. I do want to take a moment because this has been quite an interesting week. But a lot's happened this week in the world of movie news. We've got a lot of wild and crazy movie news that has happened this week. But in addition to that, it's been a bizarre week for me because it's the 26th, February 26th. Friday, February 28th will mark 1 year, one full year, since I was laid off from my job. Obviously, I have a new job. Obviously, I'm back to work. You guys know that. But I don't know how many of you were subscribed back then. Nola Deej, welcome, Nola Deej. Thank you. I appreciate it. Super Chat Hippo thanks you. Thank Nola Deej, Super Chat Hippo. He thanks you. Thank you. Hey, Nola Deej, by the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to his channel, you're making a big mistake. He is one of the best out there. I long for the day when he either comes to Philadelphia or I get to New Orleans to hang out with him because I love that guy and I never met him personally and I want to change that because I love the guy. I love the guy. But hang on a second. I gotta tell you what's on my mind here. Those of you who were longtime subscribers may remember February 28th last year, final day of February, I walked in and to work, normal day, just like any other, and I got, my manager, can you come here, got to talk to you in the other room. Me and two other guys got the news that we were going to be called upstairs. We were the three from our department, but we were going to be joining several other people from the company, told our jobs had been eliminated. So as of March 1st, 2019, I was out of work. And that was quite a year for me. Quite a year, because I really like my job, and I was very, very upset losing my job. And there were ripple effects. Losing your job is one thing. That's bad enough. Losing your job is one thing. But then there were ripple effects of things that happened in my life because I lost my job. And 2019 was a rough year. It really was. It was a rough year. It got better, I'd say, around October. October of this year was when things started to turn around and where I would start to say things weren't so bad anymore. And the other day, I was stopping and reflecting on the year that had passed. And it occurred to me, I am just one lucky son of a bitch. I really am. I've got so much to be thankful for. and it really has hit me in this past year how fortunate I am. I realize things about myself that I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I got a lot of flaws. Believe, ask my wife; she'll tell you I got a lot of flaws. But I also have a lot of strengths that I think serve me well. And I think one of those things is I'm a people person. I really like people. And I've one of the things that I talked about ripple effects. I talked about how I lost my job. There were ripple effects. One of the things that really hit me hard was I lost one of my closest friends this year. He was my boss. He was my boss at my old job, and we were very close. He was one of my closest friends, and he suddenly just stopped talking to me out of the blue. Stopped talking to me. It's like the kids say, ghosted. He ghosted me is what the kids would say today, and I didn't know why. And it was many, many, many months before he finally broke his silence. And when he did, he didn't give me answers. He gave me flip, sarcastic comments that didn't actually tell me anything. So to this day, a year later, I don't know why our friendship ended. I don't know what happened. There was no event. Sometimes you can point to an event and say, well, it was this. It was this. We had this falling out. We had this argument. There was nothing like that. So one of the things that's hit me hardest this past year is the fact that one of my closest friends is no longer one of my closest friends, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. And that's really hurt me. Now, I have a very thick skin, as just about anyone who is going to do YouTube does. And I know you guys are making a lot of comments, and I'm not reading any of them right now. I apologize. I will get to them, I promise. But I see Greg's Game Rooms in the house. I see Nola Deej is here. You ask these guys, any of you who have YouTube channels, we know we have very thick skins. It's hard to get to us because you put yourself out there to the public, right? You put yourself out there to the public. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing every raw nerve and saying, here, this is. Do with this. And the internet can be a cruel place. And I've had people who call me fat, things like that. Yo, you blah, 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 blah. And that, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because if I had a thin skin, I wouldn't be doing this. Like, those kind of things, they just roll right off me. They don't bother me because my skin is very thick. It's almost impossible for you to hurt me if you're a stranger. But one of my best friends, he hurt me. He really hurt me. Hurt my feelings very badly. And that was deeper than losing the job. Losing that friendship was the thing that hurt me the most. So Saturday night, I know I'm getting a long way around here. One of my regular viewers, he's probably watching right now. One of my regular viewers is a guy named Tony Tusky, and he's married to Rose Tusky, and the two of them together, they run RetroCon, which is one of the greatest conventions of the year. It's just, I love RetroCon. It's my favorite con every year, but I've known these guys long before they ran RetroCon. I think when I first met them, they were members of the Philadelphia Ghostbusters, but I've known them for years. And they're good people. They're great people. I don't hang out with them nearly enough. And Saturday night, the three of us went to see Mickey Dolenz, lead singer of the Monkees. Mickey Dolenz was playing nearby. And I actually, when they announced the tickets went on sale, I think in November, I actually didn't have the money. I couldn't afford the tickets. I get a call from Rose, and she asked me, do you want to go see Mickey with us? I said, I'd love to. I can't afford it. They said, we got the tickets. You pay us back later. You pay us back later. So I was able to get them the money back. We went Saturday night. My friend Rose says, Mickey's going to be signing autographs after the concert. She gave me this old Call Gems single, Pleasant Valley Sunday. She had a bunch of these. She says, would you like one? I said, absolutely. Are you sure? She said, yeah, I'm sure. I got a few of them. And I got it signed by Mickey Dolenz. This was a gift from my friend Rose. And I was thinking on the ride home, she bought a pair of Mickey Dolenz drumsticks. And she gave me one. I said, you sure you want to break up this set? She says, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, James and I, that was my old friend who stopped talking to me. We were very, 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 very close. We hung out outside of work every now and then. He is not a guy who likes to hang out outside. He doesn't like going out too much. He likes staying home playing video games. He's kind of a loner, but we went out every now and then. We saw stand up shows. We did things together every now and then. But we saw each other every day at work. So I saw this guy all the time, and I don't see Rose and Tony that much. And uh, sometimes you forget all the wonderful people in your life because you don't see them every day. You don't see them every day. You don't talk to them every day, but they're there and they mean the world to you and they're great people. And I'm hanging out with Rose and Tony and I'm thinking, I love these guys. These are great people. I love them. I know I don't see them near enough, but they're wonderful. They were kind enough to call and ask me, you want us to pick you up a ticket? You can pay us later. Rose gives me that record. These are good friends. And then I think about the people I've met through podcasting. People like Michael Armenegay, the former host of Slice of Sci-Fi, who I wouldn't be here on YouTube if I didn't start off on podcasting. It all started with podcasting. It moved to YouTube. Michael Armenegay at Slice of Sci-Fi. Brian Brown at Slice of Sci-Fi. People like Gary Lindros, who is the head of the Parsec Committee. I met him through doing Slice of Sci-Fi and podcasting. Chuck Tomasi, Craig Stepp over at the Technorama podcast. I met all these people through podcasting. Then eventually I transitioned into YouTube. I meet Cinema Sickness. Through Cinema Sickness, I meet Rick. I meet people like Nola Deej and Greg who are here, Adam the Woo, and all of you guys who take time out of your Wednesday night to be here and watch me on this live stream. I can't imagine what it is about me you want to see, but you're here like every Wednesday, and it humbles me. And this year has been from last March 1st till today, one hell of a crap year. Got a lot better starting in October, but you look at the big picture, the big perspective, and you say, how the hell did I get so lucky? And why am I gonna lose a minute of sleep because there's what, even though we were close, one person in your life decides they don't want to be in your life anymore. You're gonna let that affect you when you got a wife, you got kids, you got people like my good friend Ryan Giovinco watches every week. I know Ryan's probably out there watching. Great guy. I get texts from him. I get emails from him all the time. He's terrific. I can't name all my friends. There's Dave Perillo from the Lunchbox Bunch. I got great friends. I got great friends, and it's humbling. It's absolutely humbling. And I'm sorry for the rant, but I just needed to take a moment to say that because it has been a year, and it's been one heck of a weird year. But it's over. We've come out the other end. New job, new outlook on life, and thank you guys for coming here every week. I appreciate it. It means the world to me, and all I could say is thank you. That's all I could say. So I have ranted and raved for far too long. Probably bored all of you into a coma. So let's see what you guys are saying. Greg says he slipped you a Mickey signature. Yes, he's like Bill Cosby, but except it's an autograph. James says, did you know that Taco Bell served chili burger back in the 60s? I did not. Starting to sound like he's accepting an Oscar. Ethan says, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a year. It's been a year. I tell you. Nola Deej says, the friends I've made via YouTube are some of my best friends now. Don't get to see them much in person, but that doesn't really matter. But you know what? That's the amazing thing. We see each other through our videos, and it's good. It's great stuff. Kyle says, "Don't worry, I'm right here for you, Joe." Thank you, Kyle. But one of the funniest texts I got when my friendship with my friend, I posted a comment online, and J2H J2H, whom I've never met in person. He did a podcast with me. We're going to do another podcast. We're going to keep podcasting. But J2H sends me a message that says, "Don't forget who your real friends are. Random dudes from Michigan." Made me laugh out loud. Funniest comment I could have gotten. Nolanish says, "I'm here to see Captain Kirk's cutout." Well, there he is. Backwit says, "Watch Captain Dr. Caligari today in honor of its 100th anniversary. 100 years later, still one of the best horror movies of all time." Aubrey says, "You're interesting, fun, awesome, nice guy." Thank you, Aubrey. That's too kind of you. Me and many others look forward to your videos and live streams. Too kind. You're too kind. Lisa is in the room. Lisa Soares. Good to see you, Lisa. Lisa says, "Hi, Joe. What do you know? Why does my car keep getting a flat tire? Because it keeps running over the fork in the road. Waka waka." Oh, Lisa, you and I have to talk. I'm going somewhere next week, and we'll have to talk. I'll tell you. Brent with a super chat. Thank you, Brent. Super chat hippo. Thanks you. Thank him, super chat hippo. I gotta take super chat hippo with me over to Cinema Sickness's house. Excuse me. The Wednesday night congestion comes once again. Marty says, "Thoughts on Bob Iger stepping down as Disney's CE?" Well, let me tell you, not since Pope Benedict has a resignation so surprised me. I didn't see that one coming. We all knew he was planning his retirement, but I don't think any of us were expecting him to announce it that soon. And don't forget, he isn't leaving Disney. He's still sticking with Disney through the end of 2021. He's just not going to be the CEO anymore. Greg says, "You sound kind of nasally. Coronavirus?" No, it's called the "I have a live stream, so I'm congested again" virus. It's very weird. It only comes every Wednesday at about 9 o'clock. This is killing me. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. I know this is every Wednesday. It's driving me crazy. What is going on? What is this? Wednesdays at 9. Wednesdays at 9. I get congested. It is weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. Sam Haskell's in the room. Welcome, Sam. Welcome. Aubrey says, "You and J2H together, that's going to be a riot." Geriatric Geek is in the house, and everyone should be subscribed to Geriatric Geek. His channel is great. Welcome, Geriatric Geek. Good to see you. Noladish says, "Greg, it's the Crazy Joe virus." I cut myself. I don't know. Can you see? I don't know. I have septic. How do you say it? Septic pencil. I got septic pencil because I cut myself shaving right before I came on. It still hurts. Ethan says, "Don't subject that poor innocent hippo to all that Spice Girls merchandise." Conor McGregor says, "Are you planning on seeing Invisible Man this weekend?" I would like to. I would like to see Invisible Man this weekend. It's the goal. It's the dream. We'll see if it actually happens. Lisa says, "Allergic to something in the basement." Well, I spend a lot of time in the basement, Lisa, and it really only affects me on Wednesday nights. It's very strange. Maybe it's because I'm talking. Usually I come down the basement and I sit alone and watch TV or play the Star Wars game. And I wonder, can we get the Star Wars game on there? Nope. The thing I have propping it up is blocking the view. The Star Wars game is like directly behind the camera on the other end. Marty says, "Is this a crossover with the virus from Mucinex?" It should be. I believe that is Jason Mantzoukas, who does the voice of Mucinex now. Gary says, "I believe that Disney is going to go through a downsizing within the next 5 years, so Bob Iger stepped down so he could say that the Walt Disney Company grew with him and shrank with the new guy." I don't know. I don't really see them downsizing. They would have to drop the ball pretty hard. Right now, Disney is a well-oiled machine. Rocket Roger says, "Hey, Crazy Joe, how was the Norm Macdonald stand-up show from last year?" It was good. I love Norm. Norm is my favorite comedian, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Oddly enough, the time before that I went to see Norm, I had the friend who doesn't talk to me anymore. He and I went to see Norm together. So, but last time I went with my wife, and it was good. I always love seeing Norm. Sam says, I mentioned you in my Sonic the Hedgehog episode. I heard that, Sam. I listened. Sam has a new podcast. And, oh, Sam, I'm sorry. I forget. I've been listening to it, but I used the link you sent me, and I can't remember what the name of the podcast is. It's called Movies to the Max. That's it, right? I think that's it. Is it Movies to the Max? Sam has a new podcast. I think it's called Movies to the Max. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. But look for it wherever you get your podcasts, the iTunes Store, Stitcher, or wherever. Check them out. James says, ever seen the Chopper Bunch? Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. I remember it on Cartoon Network. That name rings a bell, but I can't remember the show. Jamel says, how was my day? My day was good, Jamel. How was yours? Craig says, so do I still hope to have 2,000 subs by 1976? The goal is 2,000 subs by March 21st, and I don't think I'm going to succeed. I think I'm going to fall short as I fell short on my goal last year. I seem to always fall short, but I got like about 600 to go. So if you're not subbed, please sub, and please bring 599 of your friends with you. I would appreciate it. There's a guy. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. But there's a guy who I saw on YouTube about a year ago. I'd never heard of him. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And I saw he did similar content to me, similar content to Cinema Sickness. So I reached out to the guy. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? We should cross over sometime. We never did. But he had comparable number of subs to me. He had, we were about the same number of subs last year. And I just looked at his channel now, before we went on, and he's at 5,000. 5,000. And I won't lie, I'm a little jealous. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it, because a year ago we were at the same place, and he skyrocketed. And I just can't seem to gain traction. I don't know what more I could do to gain traction, but I'm struggling. When I hit 1,000, it started rolling, and then it just hard stop. I don't know. Aubrey said, I liked your Sonic review. Kids who haven't played the game or seen the animated cartoon will like it for what it is, a fun kids film, while we old people all have a hard time with it as is. James says, Joe, I just commented on your She-Ra reboot video. I respect your opinion on anime, since I like some anime, and I also respect your opinion on He-Man and She-Ra, as I'm not a fan of both. I can't get into that. I'm really worried about the new He-Man show that Kevin Smith is doing. It's got a great voice cast, but they're describing it as a Netflix anime series, and I don't like anime, so I'm really worried that I'm not going to care for it. I hope I'm wrong. I want to if the characters look like they're drawn in an anime style, I'm going to be out. I just can't. That style doesn't work for me. I know people like it. It doesn't work for me. Noah says, I'm hoping for 250 subscribers by April 6th. I'm 15 away. Noah, come on. We got enough people in this chat. He only needs 15. Come on. We got to be able to do it for him by the end of the show. Can we get 15 people to sub to Noah? Let's make Noah's dreams come true. Come on. If you're not subbed to Noah, I will sub after the show. I can't now because, well, if I did, I'd be navigating away from the show. But I think we can get you there. Can we get Noah to 250? Go click on Noah's name, sub, come back. Let's see where we can get you, Noah. Marie says, hey, Crazy After Dark Time, happy bump day. I'm going to be seeing Marie and Joe pretty soon. I'm looking forward to that. Tuffy Perkins is in the house. Tuffy Perkins says, hey, Joe. Hey, Tuffy, welcome. James says, Joe, since the Mr. Bill sketches, ever seen the Mr. Bill sketches from SNL? It's my favorite SNL skit. Yes, I have a stuffed Mr. Bill. He's actually a dog toy. But I don't let my dog have it because I like it and I don't want him to destroy it. Marty says, if you upload Blank Me Sandwich, you'll get millions of subs. That's probably true. Gary says, I'm hoping to get into the double digits for subscribers personally, but I'm prepared to play the long game. Noel Deesh says, Aubrey Lockman, but her heart will go on. Okay, I'm in the middle of a sub conversation now. My good friend Liza's in the chat. Welcome, Liza. It's always good to see you. Greg says subs don't matter. You sometimes get lucky with a popular video and have to make that exact video over and over again to keep it going. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing too, because like Cinema Sickness and Rick will give me like pointers of, well, you got to do more of these kind of videos, and they'll tell me the kind of videos you got to do to get subs. And I guess I'm just stubborn because I want to get where I want to go, but I don't want to. I don't want to make videos that I'm making just to get subs. Like there are certain kind of videos that I don't really do, and I know if I did them, the subs would come, but they're not really my thing. And it's like, well, then I'm not really doing my thing that I want to be doing. I'm kind of, I don't know. Then it becomes kind of almost clickbaity, like, hey, here's that thing you want, come get it, And it's like I'd rather just. I figure there's got to be an audience for what I do as it is, and I'd like the people who are into what if you're already here, you're probably of that audience. But I'd like the people who are into what I'm already doing to just find me, because I know they're got to be out there, and I just want them to kind of find me. Excuse me. Noah, where are we? I see Noah saying thank you, everybody. Where are we, Noah? Do we have a number, Noah? Noladish says James Borland, Mr. Bill has an interesting history. Mr. Hands was Ellen's brother, Vance DeGeneres from New Orleans. I did not know that, Noladish. That is news to me. Excuse me. Brandon Sullivan is here. He says, my dog has a Mr. Bill dog toy. It's her baby. Yeah, it's probably the same one. Did you get it by any chance at Big Lots? I got mine at Big Lots, but I don't want the dog to get his hands on it. Gary says, what show was better, Addams Family or the Munsters? Well, I am always going to be Team Munsters. I love the Munsters. But I like both shows. But I am definitely Team Munsters. What about everyone else? Team Munsters, Team Addams Family. Let's hear it. Marty says, try to make flashy thumbnails. Yeah, I'm not really that creative. Greg says, my shirt is confusing. Lisa says, since you're not such a huge Carrier Williams fan, he's become a TV actor, but do you like Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias? I'm not too familiar with him. I've seen pictures of him, like on DVD covers, but I don't think I've ever actually seen him. James says, say, Crazy Joe, what are the main three things you give a nostalgic early 70s... Wait. Say, Crazy Joe, what are the main three things you give a nostalgic early 70s feel? Mine is the early 70s Sesame Street sketches, 70s McDonald's commercial, and HR Puffin stuff. Those are all good choices. Those are all pretty good choices. Hey, Noah is up to 242. Can we keep it steamrolling? Let's get him to 250. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. Steven says, hi, Joe. Have you seen a film called Making Contact, a.k.a. Joey directed by Roland Emmerich? No. I'm not familiar with that one. Noah votes Munsters. Greg votes Munsters. Lisa says Munsters. Punk Nerd is in the house. Welcome, Punk Nerd. Punk Nerd's been doing some pretty exciting stuff over at his channel, too. So be sure to check him out. Chester says Munsters. Brent says saw Call of the Wild yesterday. I enjoyed it. So it's good. I've heard that the dog is CGI. I haven't seen the trailer, so I was not aware that the dog was CGI. Does he look really fake? How does the dog look? Puck Nerd says, love the fluffy comedy shows. Saw him in Vegas. Oh, my nose. I hate my nose. Be right back. Give me a second. Just give me a second. Guys, I hate to do this to you, but I gotta leave the room for just a minute. I'm sorry. I'll be super fast, I promise. My apologies. I needed to get some nasal decongestant. I was not going to be able to make it through the show without it. I apologize. Hang on, I need a drink. Ooh. Marty says, do you think Spielberg no longer directing Indiana Jones 5 is a sign that the movie is not going well? I don't know about that. If it wasn't going well, I think we would probably just hear that it's been scrapped altogether. Liza says, since everyone else said Munster, I'm going to have to say Addams Family just to be contrary. I'm out of breath now from running up 2 flights of steps. I apologize. It's one of those days, man. One of those days. Noah says, I think Joe might have gone to the little streamer's room. Nope. Colin says, after these messages, Crazy Joe will be right back. Marty says, Super Chat Hippo is taking over the stream. I should have just like sat him there, but sorry. Lisa says, silence. And here are the continuing saga of a nose that got out of control and going to the dogs. James says, ever seen Hey Vern, It's Ernest? Great show. James, it's so funny you should mention it. Not only have I seen Hey Vern, It's Ernest, I own the complete series on DVD. But I was at my mom's cleaning out the house the other day. I mentioned that already. It's where Wooly Willy came from. But I found an old VHS tape that I taped. It's one that I taped myself on the VCR, not like something pre-recorded. And I brought it home and I watched it. And it was 2 episodes in a row of the E! True Hollywood Story. Remember the E! True Hollywood Story? It was a good show. It was a good show. And I had 2 episodes on a videotape that I taped myself. The E! True Hollywood Story of Al Adamson and the E! True Hollywood Story of Jim Varney. So I actually just watched that a couple nights ago. Greg says, let's talk about Joe while he's gone. Oh, never mind. James says, ever seen the Sesame Street sketch with the little super guy? Oh, can't tell a hero by his size. I'm just a teeny little super guy. Apparently, they shot all those super guy skits right near me. Apparently, they were shot, from what I understand, in Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from where I grew up in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Which is funny because the shows, obviously most of the Sesame Street was shot in New York, but it's just very interesting to know that Super Guy was shot in an animator's kitchen right by where I grew up. That kind of blows my mind. Greg says, Sonic movie or Mario movie? Well, I think I gotta... Ooh, you know what? I don't know. The Sonic movie's a better movie. Sonic movie's definitely a better movie. But the Mario movie is a fascinating movie. It's like one of those Hollywood train wrecks that kind of has to be seen to be believed. And it kind of falls into that so bad it's good kind of category. So I don't know. I kind of dig the Mario movie for all the wrong reasons. So if we're talking just like straight up, what's the better movie? Well, Sonic. Without question, Sonic. Sam says, what episodes of mine have you seen so far, Joe? And whose list do you agree with more, Thomas or mine? Ooh, it's hard to say. Hard to say, man. I heard the Sonic the Hedgehog one, and I watched the first one, or listened to the first one. But which one of you do I agree with more? I don't know. Noah says, awesome supportive group here, 247 subscribers. Noah, I want to see you do it, man. I want to see you achieve your dreams. I know I'm not going to achieve mine. I'm not going to get 600 by March 21st, but hope springs eternal, right? Hope springs eternal. Gary says, I didn't know that Spielberg was gone. It was just announced today, man. Disney's not having a good week with the press. I don't know. Is the Iger news considered bad news with the press? Or I don't know. I think that was more of a shock. I don't know. Aubrey says, I missed the True Hollywood Stories. I love when they would do marathons. Yeah, it was a good show. You learned a lot. Learned a lot of takeaway from there. You know what other show back from the 90s that I really dug? Pop-Up Video. Remember Pop-Up Video on VH1? I always like Pop-Up Video. Brandon says, are you really going to try to go to the Bristol Flea Market grand opening? I say, oh, no. Not the grand opening. I will not be there for the grand opening. But I would like to try to get there, and I would like to try to get there in the near future. I think that would be awesome. Probably not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. I don't know. I'd have to check the calendar. If I could do it next weekend, maybe next weekend. But no, grand opening, I would not pull off. Greg says, if I sneezed really loudly, would all my action figures fall over? Let's find out. Marty McFly says, what about the Street Fighter movie? You know, Marty, I've never seen the Street Fighter movie, but I did just recently, for the first time ever, watch the Double Dragon movie because they were doing it on the podcast, How Did This Get Made? And it's fairly entertaining, I gotta say. Not good, but entertaining. James says, ever seen the CBS Saturday morning show called Flip, starring Flip Wilson? Did that star Flip Wilson? I don't know. Let me know. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it. Lisa says, I listen to True Hollywood Stories on autoplay on YouTube. Great in the work earbud. Donnie says, I just subbed in. Oh, good. Another sub for Noah. Marty says, good times of the Jeffersons. I'm going to go with the Jeffersons. But you know what I like even more than the Jeffersons? Remember Amen? Sherman Hemsley's other sitcom? I always liked Amen. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you something else. Here's an unpopular opinion for you. My daughter was watching Frozen 2 before I came down here. I'm going to say it. Anna's cooler than Elsa. Yeah, Team Anna here. Sorry. James says, oh, I remember seeing a bit of Pop-Up Video on VH1 years ago as a kid. Yeah, man, Pop-Up Video was great. I love Pop-Up Video. Learned a lot. I still, to this day, fire off trivia. Like, a song will come on the radio and I'll fire off trivia. Did you know? It's all stuff I learned on Pop-Up Video. Greg says, Disney isn't going to change much without Iger. They may stop buying everything, though. Craig, I don't know if they got much left to buy. MGM. Maybe they buy MGM. Disney. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Marty says, didn't they do Pop-Up Video Brady Bunch? Ooh, I didn't know. Did they? That I didn't know about. Eliza says, Pop-Up Video. Definitely used to get sucked into those. You know, the funny thing is, songs you didn't even like, you would find out trivia about them, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. Lisa says, how about 227 and Alice? What's the better of the two? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe go with Alice. I don't know. 227. I enjoy. 227 did have Olivia from Sesame Street on it, though. Olivia from Sesame Street was one of the neighbors on 227. There's no place like home. With your family around you, you're never alone. Anyway. Sam says, thanks for being one of the only people listening to it. Give it time, man. Give it time. These things, they find an audience. They find an audience. Marie says, Team Annabelle. Steve Hildebrandt's here. He says, my favorite show on MTV was 120 Minutes. Brandon says Robert Patrick loves the Double Dragon movie. He went on and on at a convention about it and even said that he got paid more for that role than he did in Terminator 2. That's interesting. James says, honestly, I think Warner Brothers should buy out MGM. That way they can get all the MGM library. I really don't want to see anyone buy MGM. I got to be honest. I want to see MGM bounce back. It kind of bums me out that we lost Fox. I mean, Fox is one of the great old Hollywood studios. And MGM, I don't want to see them go down. I just don't want to see them go down. I always want them. I'm always rooting for MGM. MGM will make a movie that looks terrible. And I still kind of root for it. Like, remember when the RoboCop remake came out and everyone's like, no RoboCop remake, no RoboCop remake. I went and saw the RoboCop remake primarily because I wanted MGM to have a hit under their belt. I'm like, no, MGM is one of the great Hollywood studios. What they need the momentum, like whatever it takes. So, yeah, I definitely want to see MGM bounce back. Not Frank Castle says favorite Robin Williams performance. Have you seen 1 Hour Photo? 1 Hour Photo may be my favorite Robin Williams performance, but another movie he made, I think the same year or the next year, I don't know. Death to Smoochie. I really like that movie. Oh my gosh, David Rembert with the super chat. He says, "Let's hear that hippo." Thank you, David. Very much appreciated. Super chat hippo. Thanks you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Donnie says Ghostbusters are the real Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters. J. Michael Straczynski. Did you guys ever see the video I did where I reviewed the J. Michael Straczynski autobiography, Becoming Superman? It's a video. It probably was January, maybe. January, probably. I did a review of the book Becoming Superman by J. Michael Straczynski. Very, very funny thing because I reviewed the book. And in the review, I said, J. Michael Straczynski is never going to see this video. The thing wasn't even posted 10 minutes. It wasn't even posted 10 minutes. And I get a tweet from J. Michael Straczynski that says, quote, J. Michael Straczynski is never going to see this video. I have seen it. Thank you. I was blown away. A guy must have a Google alert with his name. I didn't tag... I did hashtag him. I did hashtag J. Michael Straczynski, but I specifically did not tag him because that it seemed kind of cheap. Like, hey, come look at the video I did about you. So I honestly thought, like, no, I'm not going to tag him. And I didn't think I couldn't believe it. Like, not even 10 minutes. It was like lightning fast. He had watched the video and retweeted it and shared it. Unbelievable. But J. Michael Straczynski was one of the head writers on the Real Ghostbusters. So, yeah, that's a great show. Great show. Sam says Paramount is slowly bouncing back. Are they, though? We'll see. Sonic was a minor hit for them. Sonic still hasn't made its money back. I mean, it's still not a profitable film. But Sonic was number one at the box office 2 weeks in a row. It hasn't really made a profit yet, but it was number one. And that kind of makes Sonic the first hit of any kind that Paramount's had in a long time. Obviously, Gemini Man lost a lot of money. Terminator lost a lot of money. Paramount's really been struggling, but they do have the merger with CBS Viacom. So that means they could do more interconnectivity between the TV and the movies on Star Trek. Mission Impossible. They've got 2 more Mission Impossible movies coming. So, I don't know. I'm not worried about Paramount. I think they will bounce back, but I'm not sure they're there yet. Gary says, the only thing I liked about the RoboCop remake was Michael Keaton. I'll see anything with Michael Keaton. Gary, I actually don't think the RoboCop remake's all that bad. I think it's actually a halfway decent movie. It's not nearly as good as the first one. But the RoboCop franchise was already so kind of out of whack after the TV show and the TV miniseries. And a year ago I said I was going to do a RoboCop deep dive, and I never did it. I intended to, but I never got to it. So maybe we should resurrect that. Greg says, still liking Picard. Greg, that is a good question. And I don't know the answer. I don't dislike Picard. I'm entertained. Like, I'm never bored. I've seen every episode. I haven't been bored for a moment. But it's a 10-episode season. 10 episodes. That's it. So last week was episode 5. Tomorrow will be episode 6. As of tomorrow, we will be more than halfway through the season. And in episode 4, they got their Romulan ninja dude. What's his name? I can't think of his name. His name escapes me. But they brought him in episode 4. And I remember when the episode was done, I said to my wife, I said, next week's the midway point of the season. We're halfway through the season, and Picard is still putting the team together. He's still assembling his team, and we're halfway through the series, or the season. I'm like, this is too slow moving. I mean, let's get to the mission, man. Let's get to the mission. Let's something happen here, because like we're halfway through and he's just getting his crew together. So yeah, I want them to kind of move it along, I guess. Then we get to last week, and last week again, it was an episode that was a bit puzzling to me, because again, I didn't dislike it. I didn't walk away and say, oh, that was a crappy episode, but it also didn't feel like Star Trek. Like we had a character who went undercover as a pimp, and I don't know. I need to see how it's all going to play out. I got to see how they tie it all together. I was disappointed that they didn't get Brian Brophy back as Maddox, because we got Maddox came back. Bruce Maddox, who famously in the episode Measure of a Man wanted to take Data apart, one of the greatest episodes of Next Generation. That character comes back, played by a new actor. And I remember like thinking to myself, why isn't this Brian Brophy? Now, Star Trek has certainly recasted roles before. This is not the first time a role in Star Trek's been recasted. Like Saavik comes to mind, Kirstie Alley in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, Robin Curtis in Star Trek 3 and 4. So yeah, no, roles get recast. I get that. And you don't know, we don't know, we're not privy to what happened. They may have gone to Brian Brophy, said, would you come back, play Commander Maddox? He may have said, no, I'm not interested. And if he turned them down, then okay. But I don't know. Did they go to him? I'd like to know. I'd hope they went to him. And he said no, and that's why the part was recast. I'd feel better knowing that the offer was extended to him and he turned them down, so they went and recast it. If they didn't even go back to him. So yeah, I guess the question of what do I think of Picard is right now at this moment in time, I don't know. I don't hate Picard, but I'm not loving it either. It's one of these things where I really need to see how it's going to play out, and hopefully it'll tie together. I'm hoping like when we get like to the last couple episodes of the season, everything's going to just kind of tie together, and I'm going to go, yes, I'm back on board now. But right now, I'm not quite there. So yeah, it's a long way around. But the last episode really didn't feel like Star Trek. Now I got to remember though that this is the first time ever in the history of Star Trek that we've watched a Star Trek series, where none of the characters were Starfleet. Yes, Picard was Starfleet. He's not in Starfleet anymore. The character of Rios was Starfleet. He's not Starfleet anymore. So we're basically looking at like this crew that aren't a Starfleet crew. We've never seen that before. I mean, we've seen a civilian here and there. Deep Space Nine, we had Quark, we had Garrick, we had Cassidy Yates was a freighter captain. But the main characters were still the Starfleet characters, Sisko and Worf and Chief O'Brien. So, but this is the first time we're that far removed from it. So I do keep that in mind, and I'm hoping that there's going to be like an episode 8 or 9 or something where it clicks, and I go, okay, we're here. I got it. But right now I'm on the fence. Ask me again in a couple weeks. I'll tell you what I think of Picard. But right now, I'm on the fence. Marty says Captain Pimp Card. He was not the one that was the pimp, though. It was Rios who was the pimp. I do like that Rios has a million holograms of himself. I get a kick out of that. That does make me laugh. Liza says, I agree. Picard needs to pick up the pace. The last episode just felt off. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Donnie says it's like they're trying to fill up the first season and not doing much of a story. Yeah, that might be the case. But you know, one thing I do like a lot is that CBS All Access is trying to create like something for everyone. So it's like Discovery was out there. A lot of people didn't like Discovery. Well, now you're getting Picard. It's bringing back Patrick Stewart. So it doesn't Picard doesn't feel like Discovery. It's got a tone all its own. And the rumor is it's not announced yet, but the rumor is we're getting Captain Pike on the Enterprise. So that'll have a very different feel of its own. So I kind of feel like there's going to be, when it's all said and done, something for everyone. It's like, well, if you don't like this Star Trek we're doing over here, check out this Star Trek we're doing over here. Maybe you don't like this one, but you might like this one. So we'll see. Greg says, yeah, not feeling like Star Trek to me. I agree. I agree. It does not feel like Star Trek. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it comes together. Lisa says, did I catch any of the Sam Eagle barbecue vlogs this week? I hate to say it, but I have not. Not yet. I know Greg and I, our friend Jackie from Super Enthused, she put one up. I haven't watched it yet. Sorry, Jackie. I'm way behind on my YouTube viewing, but I do want to watch it. You know me, Sam the Eagle is one of my favorite Muppet characters, and I'm really excited about the Sam Eagle barbecue place. I'm ridiculously excited about it. I'm more excited than I should be. As excited as I am to see Rise of the Resistance next time I'm in Disney, I'm probably equally excited by a Sam Eagle themed barbecue place. And that is irrational, I know, but yeah. Gary says they've recasted Khan too, Ricardo Montalban to Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't agree. I don't believe Benedict Cumberbatch is Khan. They say head canon. They say in my head canon. Head canon basically is a way of saying this is the way I think it should have gone, but it's not official. I like to believe that Benedict Cumberbatch was not actually playing Khan, but was playing John Harrison, which was I think the original name he gave, and that he was one of Khan's minions and was trying to protect his leader who was still frozen. That's what I like to believe. Greg says Picard is Renegades. You mean that's the fan film, right? I never saw Renegades, but Walter Koenig was the star of that, if I remember correctly. James says, say Joe, remember the Hawaiian Punch commercial with Punchy punching the tourist? How about a nice Hawaiian Punch? I do remember Punchy. I don't know if I remember that one. You know, Punchy did some Christmas commercials with Donnie and Marie. You can Google those. Gary says, I wish CBS All Access did more originals other than Star Trek. Give them time, man. Give them time. In fact, it looks like CBS All Access is going away because now with the Viacom merger, it looks like they are going to, I don't know. CBS All Access is going away probably isn't the right way to phrase it. It looks like it's going to be rebranded. It looks like it's going to get a new name, be rebranded, and it's going to be have a lot more content because Viacom's going to bring the whole Paramount library, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, everything Viacom owns is going to be available. And I'm sure there's even been rumors of Mission Impossible coming back as a TV show exclusive. So I don't know. We'll see. But Viacom and CBS just merged. So I think CBS All Access is going to be becoming quite big in the coming years, but it sounds like it may not be called CBS All Access anymore. It may get a rebranding. Greg says, I see a Sam Eagle Pez dispenser behind you. Sam Eagle Pez dispenser. I have the Sam Eagle action figure from Disney World up here. That's one of the action figures, but I don't have a Pez dispenser. I wish I did. Is that what you saw, Greg? Liza says Anson Mount's Pike was excellent. Oh my God, yeah, everybody loves Anson Mount as Pike. But I gotta tell you, Christine and I met Anson Mount at Dragon Con last year. Wasn't the friendliest guy, but you know who was? We met Ethan Peck, Spock from Discovery. That guy, man, he couldn't be nicer. He's one of the nicest celebrities I've ever met. Ethan Peck is really, 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 really a sweet guy. And Anson Mount, just a little bit standoffish, actually. I'm excited. The Great Philadelphia Comic Con is coming up, and one of the guests is Jason Isaacs, Captain Gabriel Lorca from season 1 of Discovery. So my rule is I always want to meet the Star Trek guests. I can't meet everybody, but I want to meet the Star Trek guests, so I got to meet Captain Lorca. Noah says, thanks everyone. I got to 248. Noah, you're so close, and I don't have a pen. I got a notebook, and I don't have a pen. I got to remember to subscribe to you. You know what? Hang on. I'm leaving the live stream. Of course, I'm not logged in as Megapodtastic, but boom. You should be at 249 now. Let me know if you're showing at 249, but I'm not logged in as Megapodtastic, so it won't show up as Megapodtastic. Lisa says, I couldn't get into Muppets Most Wanted. I'm glad it's out there, but don't know for me. Oh, man, I so love Muppets Most Wanted. I really love Muppets Most Wanted. Just the music alone, man, in that one. I love the interrogation song. Greg says, what's the next Marvel movie after Black Widow are you excited for? I think the next one is The Eternals, if I'm not mistaken. Got to be honest, I'm not terribly excited for The Eternals. Don't get me wrong, I'll see it. Marvel's earned my trust. I don't think I've seen a bad Marvel movie yet, so I'll go. But I'm not terribly excited. I don't know what I guess the next Marvel movie I'm going to be excited for is either Ant-Man 3 or Captain Marvel 2 or Thor 4. I don't know. Greg says Mark Singer was awesome to meet at Dragon Con. Super nice. Aubrey says, have you checked out Minty Comedic Arts channel yet? I'm embarrassed to say I have not. I know you told me, and I have like just the worst memory. Even I write things in my notebook and I still forget, and I lost my notebook. Where the heck is my notebook? Here's my notebook. Here's my notebook. All right, I gotta watch Minty Comedic Arts after this live stream. Noah says, gonna watch all the Muppet movies I own and on Disney Plus next week. Keep in mind now, Noah, not all of them are on Disney Plus because a couple of them are owned by Columbia TriStar. Muppets Take Manhattan and Muppets from Space are owned by Columbia TriStar. Gary says, Joe, would you ever do something like Megapodtastic's True Movie Stories talking about failed productions or missed opportunities? Maybe. Sounds interesting. Sure. Liza says, it's always super lame when you meet an actor that is standoffish or you find out they're just a big jerk. Also, I like to be fair. You never know what kind of day they're having. Maybe I caught him at the wrong time. And I mean, he wasn't rude. Like, he wasn't like, yeah, you guys are bothering me. I mean, he was all right. He just wasn't super friendly. He was kind of like, hey, I'm Anson Mount. No, I don't know. He wasn't like that. Hey, I'm Anson Mount. You want my autograph? Come here. Come get an autograph from the Mount. No, he didn't say that. He didn't talk like that. That would have been weird. All right, guys, it is 10 after 10. I am going to start wrapping things up here. Greg says, anyone heard of YouTuber Gus Johnson? Hilarious dude. Hopefully meeting him this weekend, along with Deshaun, who has been doing some really cool Black History Month videos all month. James says, ever seen the Littles TV show? Yes, I remember the Littles. I used to watch that show. Noah says, yeah, thank God I own Muppets from Space, Muppets Take Manhattan, and It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas on DVD. I love It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas. All right, guys. James says, good night, Joe. Good night. I am going to wrap things up here. Been going for over an hour. And again, I want to say to everyone, thank you. This has been a crazy year, but I do appreciate all of you guys coming here every Wednesday. It means a lot to me. And and I recognize that I am one lucky bastard. So thank you. Thank all of you guys. I appreciate it. Gary has the classic stream ending joke for us. Why did the Siamese twins move to England? So the other one could drive. All right. Where do you get these jokes, Gary? Do you write these? Where do you get them all? All right. Connor says, keep wearing those pajamas. Liza says, maybe you'd see another part of Anson's personality if you did that terrible impression of him. Maybe. I'll do that. I'll do that. Next time I see him, I'll be like, hey, look at me. I'm Anson Mount. Come here. Come get an autograph from The Mount. That's his new nickname, The Mount. We're going to just call him The Mount. It's ridiculous. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, keep wearing... Oh, and if you like what we do here, like and share these videos. Like and share. Tell your friends. Tell people who aren't already in on the party. Let them know. Say, hey, guys, check out Krazy Joe. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we can achieve my dreams of 2000. I don't know. I doubt it. I'm keeping my expectations low, but my dreams high. So keep wearing those pajamas. I love you guys. Appreciate you being here.